So, round 3, done and dusted. Apologies about the late video. As you can probably tell from my voice, been recovering from slight illness, but also slightly Vegas trip last week. But all good now, we're back on the grind of making videos, and unfortunately we've got another week off, which doesn't bode well for us fantasy players at the Six Nations, but it does give us a bit more time to, pick our team for round 4. I think I definitely needed that slot after round 2. Didn't have a good round 2, but round 3 did bring it back a little bit. Let me know what you guys thought of round 3 down in the comments. I thought overall a pretty good round. Obviously we had some upsets, Italy mainly. And Wales didn't do too badly either against Ireland. Maybe Ireland didn't play too well, but I thought overall it was a good round and super excited for about a week and a half when it all kicks off again for round 4. So let's just dive straight into the team. I think I had an overall of 371 points, which I actually didn't think was too bad. Overall, I think, in our leagues, I think I was top 30%, which was a good round. But there are still other people getting really big scores. Obviously missed out on Duhan van der Merwe, which was the peak of the round. But looking at the front row, again, not too bad at all. Usually I say front row is, the least amount of points that you're going to get in your team. But this year, I just seem to be getting quite a few. Like Showman and Fischetti there, 13 and 14 points, is actually not bad. And Dan Sheehan, he scored a try. I actually think 21 points for that is not that good. 54 metres carried as well, and a try. I just feel he could do a bit more. Did come off about 50-something minutes, which might have played a part, but yeah, it's just the points system has definitely changed and altered. In my opinion, probably for the worst. But nonetheless, we get a shout out to front rows, so big up all the front rows out there. Next up is the second row, and again, some decent points, but very, very average. So I picked Joe McCarthy. We obviously know Tyke Byrne was the go-to there. I think he scored like 41 points. Also got a try, which was pretty nice. He is a lot more expensive though. I think the top second row in terms of budget in the game. So he's definitely paid off. But on the other hand, Nicola Canone did make 16 tackles, so really decent. I think you're just going to get that with Italy, right? They have less of the ball, and Canone is one of their more physical ball carriers, but then also tacklers as well. So 17, I was pretty happy with that, but yes, missed out on Tyke Byrne. In the back row, did pick up some decent points again. So again, nothing too out the ordinary. 25, 31 and 26 respectively for Reffel, Earl and Olivon. So Reffel kind of did what I expected. So we got a breakdown steal, only one though, which probably for his standards is a bit low, but 21 tackles, absolute insane. Did expect this, and I guess that's what got most of his points, right? Didn't carry too many meters, 13, didn't expect them to have loads of the ball either. So I think 25 off a 31-7 loss is decent. Earl, on the other hand, again, pretty decent. Meters carried is 80, so really good for, a back row, but also made 15 tackles, so did similar work defensively, a lot more work attackingly? You guys know what I mean. But it seems to be only rewarded slightly more, so 6 points more than Reffel. I just think at the moment they're favouring the defensive side of the game. Like you can pick Wainwright, Reffel constantly and get pretty decently average points. But then Earl, who does lots more attacking stuff, doesn't really get rewarded that deeply. And same for Olivon. So got a try, but still lower, or just higher than Reffel, who did immense defensive work. So something to look out for, definitely. The worst pick of the round was my 9, Ben White. Didn't do much at all really. 9 tackles and he made 1 meter carried, which is pretty, I guess, substantial, especially against England. I think last year he scored against England, which was decent. But yeah, not really anything to write home about this week. Jack Crowley, on the other hand, I was really impressed. So 31 points, has been scoring quite good and consistently now for the past 3 rounds. He does carry as well as a 10, which I really like, but also beats a few defenders, and also, look, 10's got the great kicking abilities, right? Gets good points there. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Moving into the centres, again, happy with over 20 points for each of these guys. But when you break it down, kind of want more points, right? So Fiku made 51 metres and beat 5 defenders. So attacking wise, that's really decent. However, only made 8 tackles. And with Fiku, you expect him to be this defensive king. But obviously they had lots of the ball. So 23 is decent and it's somewhat average. But again, for attacking returns, I do expect more. And again, the same for Hugh Jones. So actually got 2 assists, but only 28 points. If you got 2 assists in the game, do expect you to get definitely 30, 35 plus, even hitting the 40, but just doesn't seem to be paying off for my attacking returns at the moment. Maybe a deep dive into the point system is what's needed in this break. Then finally, in the back 3, take a sigh because, again, it's quite average. So 22, 23, and Ramos is obviously my captain, 24 points. So with all my 15 players here, they're all scoring around, let's say, like the 20-point mark on average. It's not anything groundbreaking, and I have been, let's say, unlucky sometimes. Last week, didn't pick James Lowe, who scored really big, and this week it was Duhan van der Merwe. So I think if you miss out on that 1 big pick or 2 big picks, then I think you're definitely going to go missing. And that seems to be happening a little bit to me. Just going to allude again, meters carried here. For Lowe and for Penno, it's over 120 each. So for me, I just think meters carried has definitely gone down the pan, whereas before it was one of the main things we looked at. James Lowe also scored a try, right? 22 points. He scored a try and carried over 120 metres. 22 points to me just seems unfair. Just saying. But Ramos was quite happy with, right, 24 points, not too bad, but they had a red card, so in the end pulled it back a little bit with obviously good kicking metres as well. I think a strategy going forward is captaining a 10. So it gets good points on kicking, but actually someone like Finn Russell next week is going to play. So he's going to pass the ball around in the Italian sun. I think he's definitely a look at for next week as captain. And truly finally is the super sub. So I did go with Andy Christie, and fortunately he did start on the bench, which was good for me as I was obviously away. Didn't do too much, made 4 tackles and carried 6 metres. But did win a breakdown steal, which got good points as well. Obviously tripled up, he scored 27 points, which I was content with. But again, looking at Ronan Kelleher, I think he scored like 68, 69 points, something like that. You just need to kind of get that 1 big pick, to be honest, and I think you're in for a good round. So to summarise, I had a decent round. 371 points was actually decent. I was happy enough with that. It's nothing to set the world alight, and it was definitely better than my round 2. So I should be happy. But I think in this period now until round 4, I'm definitely going to do sort of like a dive into the point system and see if my summary, like defensive players get more points and kickers, is that a true fact? Because for me, it was always back 3 players and always fullbacks because they could just get loads of running meters, but that doesn't seem to pay off nowadays. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see that video, and of course I can post it, or let me know any other videos that you want to see in this break. But as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to my croaky voice, and I'll see you all in the next one.